So this is Northern Offensive, and we're back on the 29th of October to discuss the 2023 and 2024 tournaments in and near Ontario. So if you're looking forward to events that have gone by or ones coming in the future, this is the podcast or the YouTube video to watch to hear our thoughts as to what's happened and what's coming. So this evening, I'm with four individuals. If you want to say hello, I'm Ray, and we have...
I'm Ben.
James.
Nathaniel.
Nathan.
So here we go. So this was the 2023 tournament season for those tournaments that were both within Ontario and what I consider to be close to Ontario. There are two, one tournament that was asterisked. It was closer if you were in Cornwall than if you were anywhere else in Ontario, but we'll go from there. Looking at this event, for me, I had the opportunity to attend March of Death, and it was memorable because it was the very first Canadian tournament that I have ever attended in my 7 years of playing Kings of War.
Well, for me, it's normally Crossroads. I love going to Crossroads. However, this year it will be on my anniversary, so I will not be going. So it'll be March of Death. It can be on the wall for me.
Oh, but this is 23, Ben. So Crossroads.
23. Oh,
Yeah.
23. It had to be King Be on the Wall because I was the best Canadian there. Just to say that out loud on the internet. Why the hell not?
Weren't you the best Canadian at Crossroads as well?
I was. What the hell?
James, was there a tournament in 2023 that stood out for you? Or?
I didn't go to that many. Was it two? Went to Spooky Murder Ghosts and was it King Beyond the Wall 4?
King Be on the Wall 4, yep.
There was one more. In the Mood for Love, I went to as well. Two of those, I won the wooden spoon, and I missed out at Spooky Murder Ghosts by actually winning a game, and
How dare you?
because I'm pretty keen to get a 3D printed army from Nathan.
Just keep winning.
Did you take, James?
Sorry?
What army did you use at Spooky Murder Ghost?
Ogres.
Okay.
Also ogres at the previous one, the King Beyond the Wall, and it was Varengur in the Mood for Love. So as one of the worst players in Ontario, I just sort of have fun at all these tournaments and will slowly attempt to get better.
Fair. Nathaniel?
Yeah, I did all the ones in Hamilton, plus I went down to Crossroads for the first time this year, which was great. I was part of the Mercs, just kind of a random latecomers team, and we had a pretty rough go in our matchups, but it was still tons of fun.
Well, that's good to hear. Did you partake in the evening festivities each night at Crossroads?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We were playing board games and just sitting around talking and having some drinks and a lot of fun. Yeah, it was great. And it was nice to meet a whole lot of the American players who I'd heard of, through various podcasts and people talking, and actually get to meet them in person and see a whole bunch of great armies. So that was so much fun.
And Nathan?
Yeah. So I think I did most of the ones in 23. I think I missed out on one or two because I ended up on weekend shift this year. March of Death was actually really fun, having to do like the two different point values. And then on the second day, having less models was actually really nice because after day one, you kind of get burnt out on certain things. That was a lot of fun. Excited to see what it's going to be for the next year. I think Alex is doing it the same, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I think he's planning to do that again.
So.
Yeah, I got to break out the halflings for that and surprise a few people. So it was good fun.
Me. I love playing your halflings. Bring them again.
So these were the events in 2023. I know that Tim and I carpooled to Dead of Winter. I think we were the only Canadians who attended that event, but it was a lot of fun. It was held by Mike Rossi.
Yeah.
And Orktown was held by K2. So both of those are fun events. So when we look at 2024, I will not be attending anything before May. So it looks like Orktown 5 will be the first tournament on my radar. And speaking of which, for anyone who wants to carpool, I will be leaving from St. Thomas through London, Cambridge, Hamilton, going east, young man. So if you want to join me in the Troopy van, the Chrysler Pacifica that can carry 4 people comfortably, and Ben can at least attest to that. We can hold 4 people.
I remember some of that trip, yes.
Well, I thought you chloroformed me for at least half of that. But then Mike was driving on the way back, so you probably saw it.
I've blanked that part out of my mind.
So it's going to be Orktown 5. I don't know how many points I'm going to have to spend to go Orktown 5, King Beyond the Wall, U.S. Masters, and Crossroads. Like, that's 4 tournaments in 4 months. I'm going to have to beg, borrow, and steal for that. So that is my upcoming hope looking at 24. Ben?
Oh, for me, well, obviously anything in Hamilton, I will always go to whatever's being run in Hamilton, mostly because, support what you are close to. And then support what you are far away from. I'm hoping to hit Dead of Winter and Orktown. We'll see if I can get back to both of those, but yeah. And if I'm really lucky, maybe I'll make Masters. Probably not. I'm not that good of a player, but we'll see. How about you there, Cooper?
Trying to make most of the Hamilton ones. If I get really lucky, what's the one that's at Cape Cod?
That's Orktown.
Is Yorktown? So that would be cool.
There you go.
Nathan?
Yeah, I'm going to try and make, pretty much make all the Hamilton ones and all the local tournaments, and then I'd love to get down to a couple of the ones in the States. Crossroads was lots of fun. I'd like to do that again. Maybe Orktown, maybe one of those ones in January in New York as well. Have time to, get a new army ready, maybe.
Do a new army for every event. You get all your painting goals done for the year as well, same time.
Look, his name might be similar to yours, but there's no way in hell he paints like you.
Oh, I believe he could.
I might. I'm working on some Twilight Kin converted from the old man to elves right now, so we'll see.
That'll be cool. So, yeah, I think probably most of them I'm going to try it. I mean, carpooling for any of the ones in the States, I prefer to carpool with someone else, but if it works out that I got to drive down and someone else drives my car back, why not?
I hear Mike's a good driver.
Sure. I can go to sleep. I know how to close my eyes. It's fine.
In fairness, because Mike will be listening to this, he got us back safely, and that's all I ask. Like,
I played him today. I pick on him all the time. It's fine.
well, I would let him drive me back any time after a tournament, because I'm probably A, not sober, and B, I'm shot from playing 5 games. So
we all were.
But I really enjoyed carpooling with Tim, because maybe Tim might listen to this. And Ben, you and Mike were great. Thank you very much for agreeing. I will be leaving on the Friday for Orktown, so I guess that'd be the 30th of May. On that Friday, driving the whole day to get for Orktown, and then we'll sort the coming back if anyone wants to join me. For anyone from Ontario who has the opportunity, if you can make U.S. Masters best of the rest in Washington, D.C., it's taking place at the Nova Open. It's going to be right downtown Washington, D.C. It will be the largest Kings of War event in North America, and you will see everyone there. So it is about an 8-hour drive from Hamilton. So it's definitely doable. It's not short, but it's not super long. And
So actually, for that, so you have to qualify for Masters, right? I know that's kind of dealt with separately, but I see Best of the Rest come up a lot. And for like people that have no idea, do you have to qualify for that one, or is that just paying
absolutely
admission?
not. So the way it works is the last time. The way it works is you have the U.S. Masters where you have to qualify, and I'm going to have Mike Rossi. He's promised me that I can talk to him about the qualification process in the Northeast for all the Canadians. But if you don't qualify for the top 8 in the region, you can just say, hey, look, I want to play in the side tournament, which takes place in the same room on the tables right next to the Masters. But instead of playing 6 games, because the U.S. Masters is 6 games in 2 days, you're playing 5 games. And you just volunteer to show up, you play the 5 games, you partake in all the social events over the course of the weekend, you get to talk to everyone, see everyone. So there will be 64 people in the Masters, and given that Nerdhammer hits 55, 60 people in 2 weeks time, I'm guessing that the rest will probably be in excess of another 60, 64 people. So there'll be 128 Kings of War players playing in that room.
That'll be great.
That's really cool.
So you do not need to qualify for U.S. Masters to go. As I have stated earlier to other people, I'm putting my money down for a hotel room. I will play in Best of the Rest or the U.S. Masters. I'm just going down because it's an 8-hour drive and it's going to be an epic party for the weekend.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. The whole point in going to, tournaments in general is getting in the car with people, doing that whole, the expectations of how badly you're going to do on the way there, and just the utter crap that you talk about while you're on your way there, and then my dice screwed me on the way back. That's the best part of it. It doesn't matter where you end up finishing. It really doesn't. It's that little bit in between.
So I think we have actually, I was surprised by how many tournaments are close to or within Ontario. Looking ahead, it's almost one every month if you really wanted to play that many. So I guess on that note, final slide, final discussion point for the evening is, why do we go to tournaments? And Ben,
I've already put my thing. I've met some of my best friends playing, board games and being a geek and doing all the rest of that sort of thing. But really, it is for me. It's that chat on the way down and that chat on the way back up again. That's why I love going to Crossroads so much. The team tournament is it's that one extra part of going with people and your friends and all saying to each other, we're going to do as good as we can, and not caring if we actually win or whatever on the way there, and on the back saying how much the dice screwed me over, and we could have won except for the fact that, well, we're not good enough, and the fact that it's all the dice's fault. It's always the dice.
Yeah, thanks for making me an honorary member of your team. That was fun.
Have you any time, Nathan? But what about you guys? Come on. I'm not the only one here that does that sort of thing. Cooper, I've known you since 1990, 89, 90, something stupid like that. We're so old, we almost predate some of the Citadel miniatures.
Well, and that segues into my appeal is to see those models. You see Nathaniel's dwarves. That's like, yeah, I remember buying those dwarves back in the day with in the little blister packs, and he still got them, and it's amazing to see all the armies, the conversions, the paint jobs, the display boards. You guys always go above and beyond in putting together amazing armies, and it's like the cinematics, the visual presentation, the the story you're kind of telling on the table. That's and then the people. Like, it's not, for me, it's not about winning, as you can tell. It's the people, and it's the miniatures, and the hobby, basically.
Yeah, it's. I mean, look at we got a picture of Nathan's army up there.
Oh yeah,
which was incredible. And I mean, going to see that kind of stuff,
That
it's just
was-
amazing.
the man. I don't know how many people know this, but he individually laid every one of those wooden slats on that fucking stage. That was ridiculous. I wanted to slap him half the time when he was telling me he was doing this. I'm like, you don't have to lay the floorboards. It's okay.
Yeah, no etching into foam for him. All real wood, laid by hand.
Hardwood.
Reclaimed wood from a barn out somewhere in Cambridge, Ontario.
Hey, don't put it past me. That'll be the next one at some point. I promised water effects at some point, so we'll get a fountain going too as well.
Running upwards. Oh,
We already figured out the math on that one. Don't worry about that.
I know. Don't.
But I mean that's part of the fun.
Yeah,
Half the reason I go is just to make fun of Ben and his terrible dice rolls, or getting beat after his opponent clocks out on turn 4 and stuff like that.
Look, I will hold that to the end of time, and I do not care.
All right, but you can't make this stuff up, right? Like as much as you theory craft, oh, this should do that, and then you go out, and then just shit happens. You roll 4 double ones on the same model over 2 turns, 3 turns, or whatever it is.
It's all John's fault.
Right? So that and like
it's
the
great
energy in
stories.
the room for like a lot of these tournaments is just it's ecstatic, and it gets you enjoying playing games more so than maybe just out on a standard Friday night where everyone had a long work and you're getting that. I mean, you go out to a tournament, everyone's pumped, everyone's hyped. Doesn't matter how bad they're doing. The stories that come out of it, even just in one days and stuff like that, right? It's just something different.
Yeah, it's a chance to see everybody, have some fun. Like you were saying, we've made lots of good friends, and we get to see them and hang out and bemoan our losses and celebrate our victories between games, and go out for drinks after and have a chat. And then, as I was saying earlier, it's like sometimes that's most of the games I get to play is these tournaments. Because I don't often get out for just weekly practice and fun. So it's like, okay, I can now dedicate this day for 3 games or this weekend for a 2-day tournament, which is wonderful.
Well, and not to sell you short at any point in time, Nathaniel, mate, your display board when we first saw pictures of that, like the shit you pulled out, to the amount of plastic forks that gave their life for what you did, that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. Like it was,
yeah, it's one of those like I got an idea. I have no idea if it's going to work. Let's just go for it and see what happens.
Well, why the hell not, right? Yeah. No, I've been really lucky to meet some great people, including Mr. McCready. I've known John for a long ass time now. We met him in a random freaking War Machine something. Thank God we don't play that anymore. And I will make fun of him till the end of time because of it. And he's a great human being. I love it. Same with Cooper. Like I said, I've known Cooper since 89, 90, and he is my inspiration for doing all this stuff.
I mean, some of us weren't even born yet at that point.
Gosh. Now I've been looking at Cooper's fantastically painted, eyes done, shields, highlighted 4 times over, goblin 600-point army with my blob of 3 colored elves since God knows when, and I love this shit. I honestly do. And yeah, what about you, Ray? There must be some other reason that you do this other than just to come out and beat everybody because you're better than all of us.
Well, in fairness, I put the bottom left picture, which was Mountaineer, and I got to play Zettelmeyer, and I ended up 4th in that tournament because I lost to Zettelmeyer, but he was on my team, and I loved it. Like, I loved going down, being part of the team, playing with a group of guys. I loved being in the car, carpooling with Tim. It was a great way for me to meet Tim when I was in Ottawa, to get to know somebody, to get a friend, to through these games, to play, to know, and to travel with. It was nice to travel with you and Mike, and back when I was living in Maryland, to be traveling with Joey halfway across the country to Florida, to Tennessee, to all these spots. It's nice to have. Like, I'm an engineer, which means I have no social skills. I'm sure that the tool and die makers would definitely agree with that. Engineers have no social skills. So having a framework by which you can attempt to be social is definitely something that I appreciate. And you know, I wouldn't lie if I didn't say that I like the competitive nature of it. But thinking through, and I'll do this, you know, probably in January, the 2023 tournament recap. Like my favorite games were the ones that were like draws or close wins or close losses. And even thinking back to Crossroads, playing Eric Trowbridge for the first time, and we ended up with a 10-10 draw, was absolutely amazing. It was a great chance to play somebody who is, you know, top level in the States, and I was just happy to pull a 10-10. So friendship would be my first thing. Games, because I came up with this list because I built the slide. That's my criteria for why I go to tournaments is friendship, games, and then the hobby. But as Nathan knows, like I saw his display board, which is why I put it up, because it was absolutely outstanding. And I'm coming to him saying, wow, you have inspired me. You know my super secret plan that's coming up next. And I'm going to try to build an army worthy of Nathan and a display board that is hopefully worthy of his mentorship and assistance as we go ahead. So James, Nathaniel, that's going to be a secret project that you probably won't see until Orktown at the earliest.
Well, sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Can't wait.
But I'm definitely inspired by the Army to see the paint schemes, to see what people have worked on, to become a better artist by going to these events. But that's why I've done this. So what I wanted to get through this evening, and I want to thank everyone for their time, was I wanted to show just how many events have happened in and around Ontario, all the events that are currently planned to happen in 2024. And as the dates get firmed up, I'll keep this posted as a PowerPoint on the Kings of War Ontario and Kings of War Canada Facebook pages, so that hopefully we can get other people volunteering to come out. And whether or not you place first or whether or not you place last, it doesn't matter. Just come out and have a good time. I didn't come in first in a single event in 2023. So you don't have to come in first to have a good time.
My favorite games are the ones that we don't do well in. They honestly are. Like first game of last tournament at Spooky Murder Go, playing that, and you know, tying as I was losing. You know, stuff like that is just great.
Last game on the bottom table is the best game ever.
And I've been there.
And the other thing, like especially we talk
yeah,
about the
I know that.
armies, and everything like that. Even if you don't have models done, like we had a gentleman come out actually in 2023 that only had like foam bases, pink foam bases, didn't even have anything under it. He still had a blast. Come out, doesn't matter. Don't even put them all on the base. Come out, tell us what it is. Come and play. Right? No one cares.
Or ask us to borrow an army. I'm sure between the five of us
Yeah,
on
and
this, we had probably, I was going to say a dozen, but it's probably Nathan has a dozen, and all the rest of us have another dozen.
Nathan
armies.
has 28.
No, we're not there yet, Ben. Working on it.
So Nathaniel, what we say?
I was gonna say I love the one days for trying wiki list ideas too. Like one time I was like, "Hey, it's free dwarves, all scouting. Yeah, it sounds great. Let's do this." Oh no, it was terrible, but I had great fun. You know.
I still think we need to try one day that's like a food drive or something, like the old food machine games where you can donate food items to like break list restrictions and stuff like that. I think something like that would be fun going forward, maybe 2025, because our 2024 schedule looks pretty booked at this point.
How about re-rolling double ones?
Yeah, something like that, right? Or there is even another option is that you show up to the tournament and there's an army on every table and you bid for which army you want to play and then you take that around for the rest of the day so you don't even know what you're getting.
So you're just bringing the army for everybody? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, I mean not just me. You guys bring stuff too. Fuck. But.
Well, I just want to say thank you, and I guess I'm going to end the recording on that note. Come have fun. Message us if you want to play. One of us will have an army or dice. because some of us forgot all our dice and templates and rulers at Crossroads, and this crowd on the call were able to make it up for them. So regardless of what you have, come out, play. We look forward to seeing you in 2024. Thanks.